If you're over 45, you've probably felt that frustration, right? The old diets and tricks just don't seem to work anymore. Well, I'm here to tell you there's a really good reason for that, and it is not your fault. Today, we are going to break down a science-backed plan that goes after the most stubborn and the most dangerous type of fat. Let's dive in. So, first things first, let's get this straight. If you're struggling, this is not a failure of willpower. It's not you. Seriously, it's not your fault. See, after 45, the rules of the game totally change. We're up against a major biological shift. The real enemy we're fighting, well, it has a very specific name. And that enemy is called visceral fats. Now, look at where it is. This is not the stuff you can pinch on the outside. This is the hidden fat, the dangerous stuff that's wrapped deep inside, around your vital organs. And here's the kicker. It's metabolically active. That means it's not just sitting there, it's like a little rogue factory pumping out inflammatory chemicals that mess with your whole system. So how do we target? Well, it all starts with a simple, really powerful morning ritual. It only takes a few minutes, but it sets your entire day up for success. First up is this super simple elixir, just 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar mixed into a big glass of water. And it's really important to dilute it like this. It protects your tooth enamel and your throat. But the science behind this simple drink, it's pretty amazing. Here's the why behind it. A 2019 study found that having this drink before a meal with carbs can actually blunt the blood sugar spike by 20% and the insulin response by 19%. That is huge, because those big spikes in insulin are a direct signal for your body to store fat, especially that dangerous visceral fat. So how in the world does it do that? Well, the active ingredient, acetic acid, basically launches this 3-pronged attack. First, it slows down how quickly your stomach empties, which prevents that rush of sugar. Second, it actually improves your body's sensitivity to insulin. And third, it blocks some of the enzymes that digest carbs so you absorb less of them in the first place. Pretty smart, right? Okay, now for our first meal of the day, high-protein overnight oats. The absolute best part about this is the 5-minute prep time the night before, which makes your morning totally stress-free. It's delicious, it's packed with nutrients, and it keeps you so full. Let's break down why this works so well. See, every single ingredient here has a specific job. The oats give you that slow, steady energy release. The berries are loaded with polyphenols, which are these powerful antioxidants that also feed your good gut bacteria. The Greek yogurt adds a ton of protein and those good live cultures. And then the chia seeds bring in even more fiber and antioxidants. It's a true powerhouse in a jar. Now, you might see a high-protein breakfast and think, oh, that's just for bodybuilders. But that is a critical myth we need to bust. After 45, our bodies naturally start to lose muscle mass. It's a process called sarcopenia. And you want to know what muscle is? It's your metabolism's furnace. It burns calories for you, even when you're just sitting there. So prioritizing protein fights that muscle loss, keeps your metabolism fired up, and it keeps you feeling full, which is key to avoiding those afternoon snack attacks. Okay, so our morning is covered. Now let's talk about how we keep that fat-burning momentum going right through the middle of the day with a metabolism boost. Our second drink of the day is good old green tea. But this isn't just a warm, comforting drink. It contains these powerful compounds called catechins, and one of them, in particular, is an absolute superstar when it comes to fighting visceral fat. I love this analogy because it's so perfect. Think of its most potent compound, EGCG, as a GPS-guided missile that specifically targets visceral fat. And this isn't just a theory. Actual CT scan studies show that people who regularly drink green tea see a significant drop in this internal fat, even if their weight on the scale doesn't change all that much. It's just that targeted. For lunch, we have salmon nori tacos. This is a 15-minute meal that's not only incredibly tasty, but is also specifically designed to fight back against stress-induced fat storage. And I want you to pay close attention to this number. The omega-3s you get from wild salmon can slash your levels of the stress hormone, cortisol, by 20 to 30%. Why does that matter? Because cortisol directly tells your body to store fat right around your midsection, around your organs. So this meal is literally fighting back. And just look at how easy this is. You cook your salmon, you divide it with some brown rice onto some nori sheets, the seaweed stuff they use for sushi, top it with some fresh cucumber and a simple yogurt sauce, fold it up, and you're done. Fast, fresh, and it's actively fighting that visceral fat. All right, to round out our day, we've got an evening meal that's all about healing and nourishing your gut. And this is a key battleground in the fight against visceral fat. For dinner, it's lean beef and kimchi tacos. Now, the beef is a fantastic source of protein, but the real secret weapon here, the star of the show, is the kimchi. Now, if you're not familiar with it, kimchi is a traditional Korean dish. It's basically fermented cabbage. But what makes it so powerful is a specific probiotic strain called Lactobacillus plantarum. This little guy is amazing. It helps calm down inflammation in your gut, and it feeds all the good bacteria that help regulate your metabolism and reduce fat storage. And the macro breakdown here shows you exactly why this meal is so effective. Just look at that huge slice dedicated to protein, over 56 grams. That is what's going to keep you feeling full and satisfied all evening, preventing any late-night snacking, all while supporting your muscle and metabolism. It's the perfect end to a fat-fighting day. So, we've walked through a full day of meals and drinks. But listen, these aren't just random recipes. They're all built on 3 simple, incredibly powerful principles that you can apply to any meal you make. Here they are. This is the whole strategy boiled down. First, control your blood sugar using things like that apple cider vinegar elixir and slow digesting carbs. Second, prioritize protein at every single meal to protect that metabolic furnace, your muscle. And third, feed your gut with probiotic and prebiotic foods like yogurt, berries, and kimchi. These are your new rules for success. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this question. Don't try to do everything all at once. That's overwhelming. Just looking at these 3 core principles, what is the one small change? The one principle you can commit to putting into practice starting tomorrow?